a lot of times we talk about all the great benefits of foam. We talk about the air seal, we talk about less dust, we talk about the comfort rooms, the humidity, all of that. But besides all the great benefits of spray foam, what excites me the most about it is the money, is the dollars and cents. That's why I got into this business. That's why I believe in this business. That's why I sell this, because it makes the most sense. And I'm going to go through a quick explanation of a typical 2,500 square foot house. I'm going to go through the quick numbers on what you would be roughly looking at. Realize it's just an estimate, but these are rough numbers. We'll be glad to get you an exact one on your house. Let's start out. A typical 2,500 square foot house. This is just numbers I'm using. Let's just say 2,000 to 2,500 square foot. Okay, this type house. The spray foam in that house is going to run you $6,000. Let's say $6,000 to $7,000. And that depends on the size of the house. That depends on if you have 12-foot walls, 8-foot walls, a 12-on-12 pitch, or a flatter 3-on-12. We're going to use these rough numbers because they typically work for these size houses. So that's what the spray foam, we're going to put that spray foam here. I don't know if you can read that writing. Well, that seems like a lot of money at first, doesn't it? You're like, oh my gosh, that's going to cost that much. Well, stay with me, follow me through, and I will show you how it makes sense. If you're building a new house, you are going to have to insulate it with something, aren't you? Okay. Traditional insulation roughly runs $1 a square foot. I'm going to use that number today roughly so we know where we're at. Let's say a typical house is going to take $2,500 for insulation right here. This is your typical insulation right there, $2,500. What we didn't get into is the heating and air. This house would typically take 5 tons of air, 4 to 5 tons, because it's normal what HVAC, you may have heard this scenario before, 500 square foot per ton. But a spray foam house with a manual J calculation, with the calculation done to do the size of, to load the house appropriately, this house right now, we did a typical house, we're going to say it takes 3 tons. So roughly, we can save you another $1,000 on the heating and air on the size of the equipment. Does that make sense to you? So we're going to save you roughly $1,000. So we come here, we'll take these two numbers, $3,500. We're going to subtract that from the $6,000. $2,500 difference. Does that make sense to you, what I'm trying to tell you? The spray foam is going to cost this. Thermofoam would cost this. Your typical insulation would cost this, plus your heating and air savings. This is the part that so many people leave out. They hear $6,000 and like, oh, that's too expensive. When they really would study the math, we'll show you return on investments of over 30%. You cannot put your money anywhere else but spray foam. It's the smartest decision you can do. So let's look at that. So a $2,500 difference. If we take that $2,500, let's just say use 3%, 6%. It's roughly going to cost you $25 per month additional cost to put thermodynamic spray foam insulation in your house. Does that seem expensive? No. When you first hear that number, oh, spray foam's too expensive. You haven't looked at all the numbers. You haven't broke down to see the math behind it and why it's so exciting. So we go there, $25 a month. So I'm typically going to save you $80 to $120 a month on that size house compared to traditionally insulated brand new house. You know, we're not talking about over time, the cellulose settling, the leaks increase. We're talking day one. We're going to save you $80 to $120 per month. You subtract $25 a month from what I'm going to save you, and you're going to be roughly $100, $90, $70, to $90 a month. That's what you're going to make net cash flow every month by putting spray foam in your house. Why would you not do it? I mean, it makes the most sense. I mean, it makes mathematical sense from day one. I can go into return on investment. It's a longer math to do on there. But if you took that money, you leave it in the bank, it's drawing 0.5%, 1%. You leave it in retirement, it's drawing 10%. I can show you return on investment of 25, 35%. It's the smartest financial decision you can make. That's what excited me so much about spray foam. In the first thing that I ever got started, it made financial sense. So that's why I have the confidence to go and sell, and I believe in the product, and it's proven itself time and time again. Not on top of that, then you have all the great benefits that we have. Less dust, better comfort throughout the house, never have to insulate again, never sag and settle, guaranteed for the life of the structure. All of the great things, the benefits beyond the math. So there's no reason anybody should ever build a house that's not insulated with thermodynamic insulation spray foam.